It implies a definition of education as a marketable factor. In other words, go to school so you can sell yourself more easily to others. That's almost the rewriting of the old slavery concept, isn't it? Yeah. Go to school so that you can be a more valuable commodity and be more profitable to the other folks. Not so that what? You can own the world. Not so that you can what? Create jobs and employ other people. Not so that you can control your own earth and control your own economic system. So that you can not go for a ride on spaceship, but actually create them yourself and make them and move into space on your own. No, so that you can be bought and sold like a commodity on the marketplace. So that the highest reason for you to go to school is to make yourself of value to someone else, other than to yourself and other than to your people. And think about it, that's the way we approach the concept of education. It's a jobs approach. As if the ultimate reasons why we as African Americans should go to school is so that we can get jobs. Not make jobs, not create jobs, get jobs. It's a definition of education that assumes then that whites will always be in the place of giving jobs to black folks. It doesn't say go to school so you can take from whites their power over jobs. So that's the thing. But if you don't stop and recognize the term and say, what does it mean to me? What do I want it to do for me? Then you'll use it in a way as is given by our masters and our oppressors. And no matter how much we talk about the appropriate education of our children, they will always be educated to work for those oppressors, no matter how much they try. It will not allow you to reconstruct the whole approach to the education of our children, because the definition places certain limitations on what you will call education. So you have to recognize, first of all, then, that education is what you make it. And you must make it for yourself.
What is good, my people? We are live back again with another live broadcast. And yo, shouts out to Considra. Shouts out to Misty Chin. It's been a while, yo. How you been? I'm glad you here, I appreciate you coming through. But yeah, man, I appreciate y'all for coming through, showing me love. Um I always come on here just in case somebody got something to say. I want y'all to add to it. If y'all got something to say about the Black Studies course. If I'm wrong, I always hope that I get proved wrong, because I hope I'm wrong about all of this, but I just don't think so. It's great. I'm glad you're here. It's been a long time, Misty. And I gotta say, before I say anything, shouts out to Considra, because I'm talking about education and I want to do something because I think it's important that we control our curriculums, especially in our school. And it's not just history, you know what I'm saying? I think we should control finance and other things. And I gotta shout out to Considra because she is out there, putting her money where her mouth is, and she's trying to create programs to help the younger children, the younger generation. And it's hard to get on the younger generation if you don't even offer or try to do something for them. You know, um, we can't act like arrogant, but we have to start proving ourselves and doing the things that we want to see done in the world to, hopefully make a change. And consider with Rome in the Bush, she's trying to do that. So I got a shout out to consider it. And if you know any professionals who is willing to take on apprentices, then y'all definitely get in contact with consider, because I think that's something that can help change the mindset of the next generation. Like the kids is looking up for something to look forward to. What I'm saying, looking for something to grab onto. But you can't really ask for something if you're not giving them something either. So I definitely got a shout out to her for that. Yeah, absolutely. And I'm gonna put the link in the chat for anybody who want to come on here. And like y'all said, man, we just do a lot of talking, but at least we can add something productive if we're gonna talk. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to get on nobody's case or nothing. For you can do what you want to do, but if we are serious about the things that we want to do, is in our hands. And at some point, we can't keep passing it down to the next generation. You have to be that change you want to see. And I happen to know history, so I definitely want to put it out there so that we stop being scared to stand up for ourselves. And we know exactly what's going on, what happened to us. We don't have to explain nothing to nobody, right? And I was talking about the casual killing act, and I was asking if anybody want to if anybody has any questions or anything about it. But if you also want to prove me wrong, that's cool too. But I'm not going to be on here too long. But I was talking about the casual killing act, and if you still think that the casual killing act is still in effect, and they said, if you resist, and of course the patty rollers, the slave patrol, I wanted to play this, but they took down the video originally for what I had in there at first, you know what I'm saying? And consider you was asking about that song that was playing, with the patty rollers to get you, you know what I'm saying? So before I even go into it, so I'm gonna be just go through it. If somebody don't come on here, then I'll be off here kind of quick, But if you come on here, then that's what's up. So this was like where the song, like, it's a real thing, you know what I'm saying? Like with the patty rollers, you know what I'm saying? So like they probably banned me for this, but it is okay.
So clap your hands. Like this. Come on.
Come on now. Clap your hands.
Nigga run, nigga flew, nigga tore his shirt in two. Run, run, a patty roller get you. Run, nigga, run, well, you better get away. That's right, like you mean. Nigga run, run so fast, over his head in a hornet's nest. Run, run, the patty roller get you. Run, nigga, run, well, you better get away. Run, nigga, run, the patty roller get you. Run, nigga, run, well, you better get away. Some folks say, nigga, don't steal. I caught 3 in my cornfield. One has a bushel and one has a peck. One has a rope, it was hung around his neck. Run, nigga, run, the patty roller get you. Run, nigga, run, well, you better get away. Run, nigga, run, the patty roller get you.
Now they was gonna take this one off for this, and that's the only reason why I'm playing it, because I had to re-upload the video because I had that in there. And I forgot to say this. I'm gonna move this show. Hopefully Matron will be back. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm either gonna do it on Friday or Sunday. Probably Sunday. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm sure. Alexis Clark, but I'm sure you don't have the courage to come on here and say that. But you can if you want to, because this is what it's all about. Because what they don't tell you about this is they was waiting for these quote unquote patty rollers to come so they can cut their head off, you know what I'm saying? But we seen a lot of instances of that, but y'all try to hide that from history. But we looked those cases up where they cut the patty rollers heads off, you know what I'm saying, for trying to stand in their way, you know. So if that's what you want to do, that's up to you. Misty, that was in that movie 12 Years a Slave, by the way. You know what I'm saying? But it's the song is run N word run, and that's like a literal is a legit thing, you know what I'm saying? They used to have during the time. But anyway, speaking of the patty rollers and the thing, because they try to deny that kind of stuff don't exist. So if I'm gonna just go through these, you know what I'm saying? Because we was talking about the patty rollers and the casual killing act, and I'm telling you it's still in effect. So prove me wrong, you know what I'm saying? If it's not still in effect. So prove me wrong. So I'm gonna just go through these quick joints, and if nobody come on here, that's cool. All right, so oh yeah, all right. So before I do this, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if y'all heard about this 82-year-old woman that got locked up, you know what I'm saying, for a $77 trash bill. You know what I'm saying? So check it out. Because I did mention earlier, sometimes it's people that look like you that uphold other people's laws and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Miss Minifield, we have a warrant for you.
For what?
Not paying your trash bill.
What?
Yes, ma'am.
No, you don't.
I'm not joking.
So you're gonna handcuff me and take me to jail?
Yes, ma'am. I got you.
What did I made it?
Why the ending is so wild.
Yeah, I'm sorry. They have to. I have to make money off of our oppression and stuff. But oh yeah, capitalism is bad though.
Failure to pay solid waste, and he's all your information. That's how I knew where your address was when it come. You should have got a phone call from the code enforcement about a month ago saying, hey, you need to come pay your trash bill.
Reason I'm not saying anything because my daughter takes care of that for me. You know, I'm just saying.
Okay, well, she has not been doing it. And you got to go with me today. Anything you need to grab right quick, you can. And
Oh, Lord.
7323426.
You know what I'm saying? Just wait a minute. I'm trying to. Well, it ain't gonna be no use around.
Lost to get out at the PD. If not, I have to take him to the county jail.
Oh, Lord.
Yep, exactly, Cassandra. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And listen, I'm gonna play this, and I'm gonna just stop it as I go, you know what I'm saying?
In Alabama was actually arrested this week for the crime of having not paid for her trash to be picked up. It was delinquent, and so this 82-year-old woman needed to be hauled away from her home. So here's what actually happened. The woman is Martha Menafield.
By the way, that is called peonage, which is illegal. So you're not supposed to be locked up for debt. If you was a citizen, of course, you're not supposed to be locked up because of debt, which has been illegal for a long time. But it wasn't enforced until World War II. But it's called peonage when you locked up for a debt, which is supposed to be illegal in itself.
And when two officers pulled up outside of her house in Valley, Alabama, she had no idea why they were there. She believed that the bill had actually been paid. She thought that the officer was playing some sort of prank, as I think any reasonable person would. Though she says he didn't budge. You're not kidding, she asked him, and he wasn't. He was there to arrest her. The bill, by the way, was $77.80, basically nothing. She was hauled away, arrested on Sunday, released on bond. She was issued a citation.
Released on bond. Now, they didn't kill people before and not even had to pay bond to get released. It's crazy. But $77 trash bill.
In August by city code enforcement officers in Valley, about 80 miles northeast of Montgomery, for the failure to pay for trash services in the months of June, July, and August. And every one of the details that comes after this is sadder than the one before. She said that she thought the bill had already been paid, but they said it hadn't. She said, and the cuffs her eyes swelling with tears. They're so heavy. She's 82 years old. When the officer told her not to cry, she asked him, "How would you feel if they came and arrested your grandmama?" She said she thought the bill was paid and was confused, I guess, about her utilities because her water kept getting turned on and off.
Since Alexis is proud of arresting grandmamas, of course, and all there, you know.
She said, "I like to cook, I like to clean," but she had to borrow water from her neighbors to do those things. So understandably confused about whether services were even being given to her location. And finally, she says, "I've been questioning God a little bit afterward. I guess because I've been so upset. I had a daycare here for 8 years and I've been asking the Lord, I say, why did this happen to me? As much as I've done for people, Lord, I've paid my tithes."
Now listen, you know, this is the thing, you know what I'm saying? And I'll say this one last thing, and then you just ignore Alexis, you know what I'm saying? Because they don't have the courage to stand on what they say, you know. But I will say this one thing, you know what I'm saying? They're here trying to troll because they're so weak that they have dropped the ball. That's why they're walking around talking, "You will not replace us," and while they're being replaced. And their ancestors is literally turning over in their graves, looking at how weak they are and seeing how they've fallen apart, you know. And they know better than anyone how their society is falling apart right before their eyes. That's why they sit there and complain about everything, and they on here. They've missed the times where they can like lynch us for doing this, but what they don't realize is, yo, they was getting smoked probably more. You know, they don't want to talk about that part. That's why I'm doing this Black History course, because you don't think that you was catching maybe more, but you know, most times they had to come to you begging for a treaty. And then with this weak generation that they got now, where they sitting there complaining about how they don't have, you know, we losing control and all of this other BS, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is how weak they are, you know. So this is why I want you to understand they have to go after an 82-year-old woman, you know what I'm saying? And you don't have to be scared of people like that, because they're even scared to come on here and stand on their own positions because they know it's a bunch of BS, you know what I'm saying? And you don't have to worry about anything that they have to say, because they're not creative. They said the same thing in the 1600s that they say today. So you don't have to worry about nothing that they say. Just look at their actions, you know what I'm saying? And the moment that you get tired enough of it and realize you've been smacking them up this whole time, you know what I'm saying? And then you see how weak that they are right now, you know what I'm saying? Where they're scared of every single thing, where they got to come on here and troll. They lost all control. You know what I'm saying? They can't do anything to me right now. You know what I'm saying? And that's why they can't do nothing but troll. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, if they don't come up on this junk, like, that's why I don't, you know, yo, what's up, Cassidra?
Oh boy. This is disgusting. When have we seen a 90-year-old or 87-year-old white woman being treated like this? You had a white woman that was 96, and they just arrested her because she was involved with the Jews or whatever, the Holocaust, right? But you had the lady that murdered Emmett Till. They said she was too old to arrest, right? My thing is, until we as Black people pull away from their system and separate, this is going to keep happening. But we are so laid back and so brainwashed, we think people like Alexis, because I'm sure there's somebody Black claiming her as a best friend, I'm sure. And this is how she acts. We're talking about our history. And here come this woman, or whatever she is, talking noise about Trump this and Trump that. But I guarantee you, you getting ready to holler loud, and we are. Trust and believe that one, Miss Alexis, because we got next. And let's see if you'll be able to handle it the way we have, because we were born for this. You were not. We can handle anything you guys throw at us, but you cannot. So until we as Black people separate totally, educate our own, get our own banks, get our own land, seriously, this will never stop. We can pull away from their system. Look up your straw man. We can pull away. But will we? No. We're going to keep on talking noise, and we're going to keep on complaining and doing absolutely nothing to free our minds or free our bodies or our spirits, are we? We're going to keep on talking about what we can do, but we won't actually do anything. And that's the disgusting part of it. We'll sit on here and we'll whine and we'll cuss and we'll fuss, But then when it really comes down to us taking our children out of their schools and enrolling them in our own, we won't do it until we actually put our community stores up, because we're worth $1.2 trillion. So why is it that I seen a Mexican, they got their banks, they have a credit union now, right? And I'm like, we've been here longer. Why don't we have our own credit union, family? We have $1.2 trillion. There is no excuse for us not to have our own business, not to have our own credit unions. We keep blaming white folk for this, that, and the other. We can't blame them anymore for anything. We cannot blame them anymore because it's on you. You want to leave this mess to your grandchildren? I don't. That's why I built Ram in the Bush. Hopefully we can get that globally and not just here in one state. But people, here we go again. We've been trained how to distrust each other. We'll open up a business, nobody will support. Tell me why. But you'll go to Walmart and buy a 100-inch TV, get them $1,500, but your sister over here is selling the same item and you won't even go and support because you so busy distrusting because you don't want to give her that $1,500 or $1,200. And she could have even given you a discount. But see, this is what happens when we allow enemies like Alexis to educate our children. Because I'm sure Alexis has family members that are teachers. She has a family member that's a police officer. She has a family member that's a judge. She has a family member that's a nurse. But we still trust people like Alexis, and we call them friends. So I'm not mad at Alexis, not at all. Who I am mad at is Black folk, melanated folk that want to sit up here and claim them as friends. Melanated people that want to claim Mexicans as Black and brown coalition. We have no friends. And it bothers me every time we mention the Mexicans as friends. They're not your friends. They don't even like you. They're more white supremacy than white folk is. Haven't you noticed that, Progress? They give us more problems than white folk do. But that's neither here nor there. So until Black people are ready for change, until we're ready to see something different, until we're ready, and 2023 is my year. I promise you that I'm going to see something different. I'm going to do something different. I'm not going to sit up here and this is ridiculous. We keep talking. Forecast these shows are amazing. It's full of amazing information. And this show should be full. And this is how Black folk don't care. You have over how many followers you have. And look at this. This is ridiculous. Your show should, at least half of what people following you should be on this show to learn what can I do different in 2023. And we won't even do it. That's the sad part about it. We won't do it. And then we'll keep complaining, but won't do anything different.
Yeah.
Thank you, though.
No, you going in. I'm sitting over here agreeing. I didn't even know I was on mute, but I'm sitting over here just like saying, yep, the whole time.
But it makes no sense. But I am enjoying your show. It's amazing. I look forward to it. And Sunday's a great day. Whenever you want to do it, I'll be there. But it's just people like Alexis that really, instead of her listening and getting educated, she want to run her mouth. So I did block her. Get out. You don't want to learn? Get the hell out. You ain't got no business over here. Unless you'll sit there and listen and quiet now. Because people like her,
Nah, yeah, I don't even, I don't block people like that because first of all, if they don't come on the thing, like if you block them, they like, oh yeah, they feel like some kind of like justified, like they did, like they've done something.
Oh, like they did somehow. Okay.
Yeah, but if you like, because if they don't, I give them the opportunity to come on because we can all see like they don't stand on, and it's not even creative. It's the same stuff that they've been saying for like 400 years, like. I could use like a Martin Luther King speech and debunk what they say. It's not even like creative. And I want people to understand that. But that is a prime example of like what you were saying with friends, you know what I'm saying? Like, like this is who you think is your friends, you know what I'm saying? Like, because they won't say this kind of stuff in public. They think, and it's probably a white boy, you know what I'm saying, who's behind a keyboard. And that's why, that's why I say anybody just ignore them and they'll just go away because they'll realize like, their word, it means nothing. Like it don't move me one way or another, like because I don't really care about them. I'm talking to us because like what you said on your show the other day, I'm like, I couldn't even help but to take it personal because even though doing this, it's still not enough because like that young brother that you was talking about, 13 years old, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And we just sitting there like nobody did anything.
And he's still out. And why is he still out? Why is he not arrested? And why is Ohio sitting on their behinds doing absolutely nothing? Then we wonder why they still treating us like this because they can. And so those laws that you say that they say are gone, laws are still, they still go by those laws. They just gaslight you and make you think they don't go by them, but you can see them. But then they'll tell you, well, you know, those laws aren't on the books. Well, what I'm looking at? What am I looking at? I'm looking at the same law that you tell me that's not on the books, but you still operate in that law, like the police officers. Come on, that law is not still on the books. Please give me a break.
Mhm.
Oh, sure it is. We know it, but they're gonna tell you, oh no, it's nothing to see here. It's not still on the books. We don't go by that. Yes, sure you do. You think we that dumb that we cannot see what you're actually doing to us. But my thing is, we sit here and we take it. So just like you can't blame them no more, because we allowed that. We allowed that guy to walk around and free.
Right.
And he just murdered that baby for no reason, shot him 5 times in the back. Talking about it's self-defense. Well, you know what? It's self-defense now because I'm gonna do what I need to do. That's self-defense.
Yeah. I fear for my life. I fear for my life.
Okay, yeah. Exactly, because he's out, because he could do that again. He could do that at any point, any time, and yell self-defense. He knows somebody. It's something. You don't just let people out just because they say self-defense. But that DA or the prosecutor that they're not holding accountable, he's going to run for office in 2025. Let's see if he gets another term.
Yeah, and I want to play this one part because of what she was saying. What this 82-year-old black woman after this for a $77 trash bill, which is called peonage. You know what I'm saying? Which is being arrested for a debt, which is illegal since like the 1800s, but it wasn't enforced for black people because we know about sharecropping. And I'm gonna get to peonage because I think that's interesting, but it wasn't enforced until World War II. You know,
and she can actually take that company to court and get $5,000. I'm just saying.
You know, but listen to what she was saying about God, though.
Here for 8 years, and I've been asking the Lord, I say, why did this happen to me as much as I've done for people, Lord? I had a daycare here for 8 years, and I've been asking the Lord, I say, why did this happen to me as much as I've done for people, Lord? I've paid my tithes every Sunday. I ushered at church. I was just questioning, something's just not right. I agree with that.
Man, so she says she's questioning, she's questioning God, she's like, she's paid her tithe every Sunday. We've been going to, not no disrespect to anybody, but like a book club meeting for like 2,000 years now, you know what I'm saying? And,
can I tell you what's wrong?
Mm-hmm.
We don't serve the same God, for one. And for two, he never told you to come together with these demons and devils. That's what's wrong. Because if Martin Luther King's dream was actually from God, do you think actually we would be still at the bottom? We're still at the same spot that we were in 1963. At least then we had our own cities, we had our own hospitals, had everything. So now that you came together with them, you gave up everything. You gave up your own cities, you gave up your own hospitals, your own schools, and you came together. But you were already with them in slavery. So you turned around and went back to Egypt. And look at where you are now, even till today. 1963, we gave up everything, came together with them. 2023, we are still in the same spot, voting, still trying to make a difference for people who have sold you out, because none of our black leaders, Democratic Party, Republican Party, cares about black people. And until we get that in our head, we run and scratch and scrimp and scratch, and we run to the polls and then get nothing. Nothing. And it don't even bother anybody because I'm blue no matter who. Really? You're an idiot. That's what you are.
Blue no matter who.
You are an idiot. That's what you are. And believing in something. We have no friends. He didn't never tell us to come there. He didn't even tell us to mix and mingle with them. Why do you think so many of them die when they get with them people? You just had a Nigerian brother that got murdered, stabbed to death by one of them thoughts, right? Stabbed to death and almost would have got away with it. 3 months, she was still out walking. She was in Hawaii on a vacation. Probably his insurance that she paid to get insurance on him. She was in Hawaii. Yeah, she was in Hawaii and still was talking about it was self-defense. Oh, okay.
And you know what, Cassandra? I'm like, yo, we better pay attention to that to make sure she get charged for sure. You know what I'm saying? That's
I'll guarantee you, she probably only get about 5 years. My thing is, we're not teaching our children not to mix and mingle with them. We are not teaching our children. We think that they're friends, even though the history book is there. It's free. Google their history. It's there. Google is your friend, but we won't do it. We're so busy calling them friends. They've never been your friend. They smiled in your face and did what? and tried to take your place, didn't they? What the Jews do? They took your place. Now they saying they you. We better get it together because we gonna need each other. What's coming in 2023 on them? We gonna have to get through it. We're gonna get through it, but we got to come together. But we so busy calling them friends, a lot of that punishment is gonna come to us because of the simple fact we don't want to separate from them. So the same punishment they get because you married to them, because you laying up next to them, you're gonna get the same punishment. And a lot of black folk getting ready to die 2023. They already been. Did you see the thing where they say die suddenly? I want you to look that up. Everybody on here, look up die suddenly. It's talking about the COVID. I don't mean to say it because I don't want to ding your channel. But
I'm blacklisted. I'm blacklisted already. That's why nobody here. So you are. You can say whatever you want.
They had it's called die suddenly. .info. If I'm not mistaken, I'm going to see it now. Yeah, died suddenly, and it's talking about all of these people that just up and die, just out the blue. And if you look it up, it's called died suddenly.info. Look it up and talk to me about that. People just dropping dead. Just globally, 70,000 people already have dropped dead, kids included. 7-year-old, 9-year-old just dropped dead instantly. But we trusted them to put their poison in our body, knowing their history. Now that is mental illness. I keep telling you, we're dealing with a bad case of mental illness around here. I keep telling you that.
Yeah. And I agree with my brother, Mr. Fix It in the chat. I think that I know who that brother is, but yeah, we definitely need our own bakes, and that's the point of education, because education is not just history either. It's finance, it's science, getting our. But no matter what we learn, if we don't know that black first, black only, it may be like classism isn't your biggest problem, but like you're being attacked because of the way you look like. And that's just the way the world has shaped up to be. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to work together to defend yourself. And when you get in your education, you don't want to build things for other people to keep you in the position that you're in. You want to build them for yourself, even if it's to defend yourself, if it's to feed yourself, if it's to educate yourself, no matter what it is, you know what I'm saying? You want to do it with the right mindset. And that is the mindset of domination and power, you know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, we talking about you want to say something?
No, go ahead. I'm listening.
I was just going through. I'm trying to give the other, notice, the other person is gone now, because if you ignore them, they just go away. But I'm trying to give people a chance. So I'm just looking at the slave patrol stuff, you know what I'm saying? So let me show you. I'm just going through some videos and, until we get through this, and then I'll just get off of here.
Exclusive WACT investigation reveals never before seen or heard recordings captured by a malfunctioning police cruiser camera revealing racism.
Oh yeah, we're talking about the slave patrol. Shouts out to Bwana, the slave patrol and the Casual Killing Act. That's what the lesson, that was some of the main things that stood out in the lesson. So if anybody had questions about that, that's what I'm showing. Like the slave patrol and the Casual Killing Act still in effect today. Is it still in effect is what I'm asking. So
within the ranks of the Wilmington Police Department. More than 2 years ago, 3 Wilmington police officers were publicly fired after the recordings were created and discovered by chance.
You have a civil war, go ahead and wipe them off the map. That'll put them back about 4 or 5 generations. Because, and then you know what? The good ones can go live in their little communities and they can do what they want to do. Just stay out of my way.
That's former Wilmington police officer Kevin Piner talking with another former officer, Jesse Moore. The conversation was recorded on a police cruiser camera, which was accidentally activated.
Now, I just want you to see.
If we do not get a handle on this, we are not going to have a country for our kids to be raised in.
Now, ain't that because we didn't get a handle on this ish, and now we don't have a country to be raised in.
You ain't gonna have a country because your children shooting up the schools and daycares.
Yep. And this is what I want you to see that the mindset is, you know what I'm saying? Like 4 or 5 generations. What was 4 or 5 generations ago? What was your great grandparent? That's what they want to set you back to. And this is a cop talking about this.
Exactly. So tell me why they're still in if they know this, we know that they've been infiltrated, right? The FBI have told us. Why are they still in existence, and why have they not been defunded? And why do they still have qualified immunity? Those are just questions I'm asking. I don't understand.
Right. I mean, it sounds like casual killing. Imagine that, a law called casual killing. I don't go through history and show me casual and killing put together, and then a law made around that.
And let's see it happen to them.
You know, you have a civil war, go ahead and wipe them off the map. That'll put them back about 4 or 5 generations. Because, and then you know what? The good ones can go live in their little communities.
You see that? The good ones can go live in their little community. So all you ones that's good, that he deems that's okay, you can go live in your little BS communities. You know what I'm saying?
The 1 or 2, huh?
Right. The few good ones. And he better than me, because I don't know. I wouldn't say good ones. You know what I'm saying?
Oh no, absolutely not with them. None. Not one. I don't trust one.
Yeah, I mean, so he better than me, I guess. So
Go live in their little communities and they can do what they want to do. Just stay out of my way.
That's for
ain't that as long as they stay out of my way. But if I say that, I'm wrong, right? But I'm not a cop either, so. But all right, so yeah, just with all of this stuff, check this out. The ban on police officers with white supremacy hate group. They're contemplating about banning officers with white supremacy history, according to their language.
Today, political reporter Theo Keith is here, and Theo, the Police Standards Board is looking to assert itself here.
It is, Karen. For the
what's up, Bobby?
First time in decades, Governor Tim Walz's appointees on the board are looking to overhaul the rules on who gets licensed as a police officer.
Without fanfare, the Post Board votes to send a series of new police standards to an independent arbitrator for review, capping a process that started after the 2020 police murder of George Floyd. The board's police and community members say the goal is to improve trust in those who have a law enforcement license.
I want people to understand that we heard you. We understand that this systematic racism is a real thing.
One change bans police officers from affiliating with white supremacy or hate groups, spreading hate material, or engaging in online forums. Post Board members say they're not aware of current officers doing this. Still, community activists cheered the move.
You can either be committed to the safety and the well.
Now, we're so easily pleased, yo. He said possibly thinking about passing something that could look into it. And you got a bunch of black people already, the radical integrationists that we see in our community. It's like, yo, well, thank God, you know what I'm saying, for slavery, because we be in Africa praying to a tree, pretty much, But man.
Hate groups, spreading hate material, or engaging in online forums. Post Board members say they're not aware of current officers doing this. Still, community activists cheered the move.
You can either be committed to the safety and the well-being of all humanity, or you can believe that only certain.
Yo, consider what's up with this all humanity crap? What's going on with that?
God, we are just, I'm so sick of these pastors. I don't know what to do. I'm sick of them. I don't know what to do. He's a reverend, right? So of course they always go to the pastors. They will never come to me or you. They always go to reverends. This, oh, Jesus first. Oh, God is all about love. My thing is, they didn't tell you that they were going to do it for sure. Okay. So you're up talking, and they didn't even tell you that this is what's going to happen. They're saying it's a possibility. So what are we excited about? They're dangling another carrot, and we jumping and still have not caught that carrot yet. And we still keep dangling. We still keep running after that dangling carrot. So, yeah. And he's saying not all. But as far as I'm concerned, the ones that know that it's there, then you're guilty too. Silence is in agreement, right? So you have officers that are possibly still on those white supremacy websites, in the white supremacy KKK groups. They're still there. So you act like they left. What are you talking about? And that's what he just said. They're still there. They didn't leave all of a sudden. So are they really serious about this little movement here? Doesn't sound like they are to me.
I mean, this brother thinks so, I guess. And I dare anybody to come on here and then Goldstein, if you don't know who that is, he came on here. This ain't even got nothing to do with Jews though. But I did mention them earlier in the lesson though. Huh?
L'chaim. I have a couple L'chaim.
I don't know what that means.
I have a couple of questions I want to ask you guys, you people. When you talk about African and African American history, why don't you ever say anything about what us Jewish people have done for you all? You only talk about negative things. Why you never talk about what we have done for you all?
You tell me, what have you done for us besides finance slavery for us? And you financing slavery actually impacted our families, and it still impacted our families today. So you tell me what you've done for us.
You do know John Brown was a Jew, and he seemed to be some of you African Americans like greatest hero. And he was a Jew, and he put his life on the line to save a lot of African Americans during slavery. He wanted to free you people.
He didn't put his life on the line for not for me.
Yeah, for your ancestors.
First of all, we didn't need him to do anything for us. You had black folk fighting to free themselves. Remember that, right? So if you chose to fight, that was something that you chose to do. We didn't ask you, because we was going to win that anyway, because you had black folk that wanted to be free.
And I have one more question before I go, a question and a couple of statements, because I can't be on here long.
But hold on, because I did mention y'all though. I did, because I'm going one step at a time. I mentioned, because I want you said I was going to talk about the history, and I was talking about how like the Dutch was about to kick out the Jews because, you know, all the stuff that they was doing with their business, same like stuff that people complain about today, and how it was the West Indian Company and their stock and how much money they put into the slave trade. And that's how they got to New York. And then we also saw the slave market, you know what I'm saying, or aka Wall Street, you know what I'm saying, how, you know, a lot of, because that was a Jewish kind of thing. So, but yeah, go ahead.
Well, we allowed, you know, when we came and we discovered the people over here, Cristobal Colon, a Spanish Jew, there were some Africans on the ship with us. Ever since the beginning, we have been with you people. And I just want to ask this question to the lady, Cassandra. She said something about defunding the police. And I would like to know, if we defund the police, do you think you people could take care of yourselves if we didn't have the police there guarding you all?
We've always taken care of ourselves. We don't need you to take care of anything. We've seen your history as far as you taking care of us. We have different programs that we can set up in our own communities to patrol our own. We don't need you in our communities. We can do it ourselves. We've been doing it. So why do we need you now?
What I would like to say is, if you're actually setting up something to patrol your communities, that's commendable. But I think you all would need, the Jewish people would like to come and help you to make sure everything is set up properly. And there's no racism going on inside of the community, with no anti-Semitism, and we can all work together, because the Jews, we have had it as bad as the Africans has almost had it as bad as the Jews. So I see why we can work together.
You can give your money, but we don't need you to come and tell us what to do with it. So if you want to participate and give your money, thank you. But step back and let us take care of what we need to take care of. Just like America gave you money, so you were able to get out of your predicament that you were in, because your predicament was actually worse. But America gave you money for something that didn't happen here in America. So that's how you were able to build your hospitals. That's how you were able to build your clinics and your stores and your schools that you teach your children in. But then you give us the music, and you give us the movies to downgrade our community, but then you teach your children the right way. But that's our fault.
Well,
so no, we don't need help.
I asked the guy on the channel, I think it's the Forecast Radio, I think his name, but the last time, and I would ask him, you know, like we gave you guys music, you know, we help y'all understand the music, and we even allow y'all to use some of our swag. So since that's the term you guys use, swag, y'all swagger.
Nobody wear them
So
curly hair costumes y'all wear. Nobody like them stuff.
I would like for the Forecast Radio, before he goes, to play the Motherland Bounce, so he can see the black guy from America over in Tel Aviv, St. L'Chaim, and doing rap music in the motherland with our style, and we're all in the videos together, communicating and working together the way we are supposed to.
I tell you what, the one thing we can do right is when y'all's ready to come breaking off some of the reparations money, and then I probably won't do it then, but you know, then I'll listen, you know what I'm saying, when y'all's come breaking off some reparations money that, you know what I'm saying, y'all getting. So
exactly, because you do know that you owe us reparations also. So when we get done getting it from America, we're going to come and get it from you for the part that you played in financing slavery.
There were only 7% of the Jewish community in this country that was involved in the slavery, and we absolutely punished those guys. And we have tried to make it right with you all. We gave you all the NAACP.
What was the punishment?
We gave you a building. You know, we gave y'all music. We have made people millionaires.
What was the punishment?
The punishment for what?
You say y'all punished slave owners and stuff like that. What was the punishment?
Yeah, those guys, they were absolutely punished. They were absolutely punished.
And what was the punishment?
Oh, we don't discuss our punishment.
Yeah, I know, I know y'all don't.
But like I said, we'll get our check and we'll put it in writing. So you have a great day.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for allowing me to speak on the panel with a lot of nice African American people, L'Chaim, and you know, and it's okay if you all want to be, you know, Jews. We will accept you all, but we don't need the radical Hebrewism saying we are not Jews, because we are Jews as well. You know, we
need your DNA. When you can supply your DNA that tells us that you are part of the Hebrews or Jewish community or Jews community, then we'll go from there. But until you do a DNA test and prove to us who you really are, because we can prove ours, but until you can prove yours, like I said, have a great day.
All right.
I believe I can tell because Sidra don't want me here any longer. So Forecast, thank you for allowing me to speak on your panel. But remember, when we talk about African,
you just said you didn't know my name earlier. You said some guy.
I just read it. I just read it. The Forecast guy. Okay. So you know so I just want us to be mentioned in a positive light from you guys, because we see positivity in you. Or look at Bob Arum, all of the boxers that he has made rich. Thank you very much. The Forecast Radio. A nice meeting you, Cassandra.
All right, Goldberg.
It's Goldstein, man. There's no need to be disrespectful. It's Goldstein. I do not disrespect your name. It's Goldstein.
Okay. All right. So yeah, he all you have to do is study Shyster stuff, and then you can.
But you've disrespected us with your music and your movies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean all the slave movies that came out. You know what I'm saying? Who knows? You know. But all right, so
exactly. If I see one more slave movie, I'm gonna just throw up.
Yo, you know what, consider, like, I'm not gonna say which one, because then somebody gonna probably try to steal it, but I'm gonna show one, but I'm gonna show a different one. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna show like a successful one, like, you know, a brother who actually came back and got his wife and freed his wife and freed a whole bunch of other people. You know what I'm
saying? We could use something that's showing us success in slavery.
Mm-hmm. But listen to this, speaking of slavery, you know, and whether it lasts today and how it lasts today, and all his friends surrounding him.
Certain groups of individuals are worthy of dignity and protection.
Police groups have raised concerns. In July, the Minnesota Sheriff's Association said, "We all agree we don't want bigots in law enforcement. We do not always agree on what a bigot is." Second change requires applicants to provide more information in a background.
They say they don't know what a bigot is when it comes to like hiring police officers.
What does that mean? So what does that mean? Who's going to do the hiring? Let somebody else let us do the hiring then. How about that? So we can help you to understand what a bigot really is.
Oh no, they know that's some bigoted stuff right there. Like, oh, because you got a black person, oh, that's bigoted. See, they know what the stuff is. Like the moment you say something about them, now it's like, oh, it's a problem because they know what racism is, and you explaining it to them. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. They know. They hoping that you want to confuse you that we don't know.
Mm-hmm. And I'm only gonna play a second of this because this is a brother who's a cop, you know what I'm saying? And this is his complaint about being on the slave patrol. And by the way, even though, you know, Goldberg came on here, you know what I'm saying? Like anybody who really want to come on here and challenge me, like, yo, and say that I'm wrong about stuff, you see that other person left when you realize like you just ignore them and it's not like they're meaningless. They just walk away with their tail between their legs. But I want you to come on here and prove me wrong because I actually hope that I'm wrong about all of this and then I could just stop and I go back to live my life and everything is good, but it just can't ignore the last 700 years. So listen to this brother here.
It started on Facebook, a post made by him.
I can recognize when the bully is being the bully. They've been the bully for a long time.
Reynoldsburg police officer Ricardo Thompson, citing intolerable working conditions within the department, was resigning.
Well, law enforcement pretty much picked me.
Police work, his life's calling, but says RPD leadership made things difficult.
Is this a management problem?
Yes.
Is this
It's a management
leadership problem? Is this a racism problem?
It's all of the above.
When you hear those kind of allegations in your department,
This is dude definitely got
Your
headphones on.
Well, it's disappointing. You never want to hear allegations like that.
Chief Curtis Baker says he encourages workers to follow processes in place to report incidents and that his department is a modern, progressive law enforcement agency with very high standards.
do we have a culture problem at RPD?
So I don't believe so.
According to the mayor's office,
Yeah, of course
Donna,
not.
the department is at, but other officers, June, after 25 years.
I am not one who doesn't play ball. I just need to be respected and need to be given dignity while I'm at work.
He says when a new administration came in 2018, things became increasingly uncomfortable.
All right, so pretty much they was talking about the culture. This is just random individual. I could be here all night talking about random individual stuff. You know what I'm saying?
But forecast, in the police department, they have two separate unions. So if we're on the same team, and I know because I went to the academy, this was in my younger days, thinking this is what I wanted to do, not understanding what it was really about. But I understood once I got in it, it was the worst experience ever in life. But they have two different police. They have like two different unions. They have one for black and one for white. So if we're actually together, why do we have two separate unions in the police department?
And I might ruffle some feathers now. It's the same reason why, and it's crazy because even in the police department, to some personal stuff, right? Like the same reason why there's a black MGTOW, you know what I'm saying? Because they won't accept it by the regular MGTOW people, you know what I'm saying? But speaking of that, I was talking about the Casual Killing Act, and the other part of the Casual Killing Act that people don't talk about is the white bitches part, you know what I'm saying? That how they used to kill so many kids that was a part of the Casual Killing Act. So if you want to take up for some white bitches, you're welcome to come on here. I dare you to come on here, you know what I'm saying? But I was talking about how that law was passed because not only, and it's a bunch of BS that it was one way and not the other, because if a white girl had a kid with a black dude, then the kid would be a slave, you know what I'm saying? And she would become a servant, you know what I'm saying, herself. But they was seeing that even those sick Neanderthal dudes preferred black women even in slavery over them, and in a lot of cases they preferred to molest children over their own wives, which is a whole sick pathology, you know what I'm saying? But the white bitches, you know what I'm saying, we give white bitches a pass, you know what I'm saying? And the Casual Killing Act, because we act like they are a minority or something like that, like they didn't benefit from slavery and all of the death and destruction. They probably more responsible for destruction than anybody on the planet Earth, you know what I'm saying? But check these white bitches police out, you know what I'm saying?
You gotta move.
ridiculous. This profanity-laced rant sent veteran Cincinnati police officer Rose Valentino to desk duty. On April 5th, she was pulling into the District 3 station to fill out a report when she noticed vehicles lined on the street to pick up students from school. She activated her lights and quickly became angry when they didn't move.
A cop and going through a school district, you know what I'm saying, mad at the people picking up their children, and listen to what she has to say.
Move. Is she gonna just sit there? Body and dash camera video just released by CPD shows what happened next.
Dumb. Oh, I hate him so much. Oh, I hate this world.
After rolling up her cruiser's window, she uses the N-word.
Hate him.
Valentino told investigators a black student gave her the
Freaking in the words, I freaking hate them. All right, so
this is who we allow to. This is who we allow. Even when they see it, she should have instantly been fired, plain and simple, because we understand how you feel. But these are the people that you come in contact with every day. So do you really believe that she can be fair? Do you really believe that she's not going to bring her bias to work with her? But we still don't do anything about when they're caught in the act, they still allow them to be police officers. That's the sad part about it.
Well, consider, you know, we got to give white girls a pass, right? You know, we've seen them in
the past since forever, because we had more white women that were slave owners. We had more white women killing those black babies that their disgusting pedophile husbands wanted black women more so than they wanted them. But the white women was killing those babies and those women. And that's why they had another reason why they had to have that law where you couldn't get punished or you couldn't get brought up on felony charges if you killed a slave while disciplining them. That's another reason why they came up with that law.
Yeah, but since black men seen them in a cave, and Tanzan said it was a black woman, she probably right, but I believe that a black dude seen a Neanderthal bitch in a cave one day, and then the last 6,000 years we've been doing the same mistake, you know what I'm saying? And we end up like that brother with the supermodel, quote unquote supermodel girlfriend, and end up dead.
End up dead. But we still don't know how dangerous they are. Even if you're seeing this woman rant, go ahead and show the rest of her little ranting. And this maybe will open up some of our men's eyeballs, because when they say, oh, black women are toxic, black women are angry, black women are this, that, and the other, let's show them a little bit of Becky.
All right, let's let Becky speak for herself.
Student gave her the finger, which led to her outburst. She was one of 4 officers profiled by WNWT and featured in a nationally televised reality show in 2011, Police Women of Cincinnati.
Never a dull moment. You go into every situation as if it's the first time, you've dealt with that sort of thing.
In Valentino's most recent performance review dated after the rant, she was complimented as a hard worker who uses good judgment. A supervisor recommended she study for the promotion exam. In January 2019, this official reprimand says Valentino showed body cam footage from a homicide at the Glenway Pony Keg to family members while having dinner at the casino. In March 2020,
they show murder footage while they eat dinner.
This is what they do. This is why they're so traumatized. They're toxic. This is it.
That's disgusting. Is this what y'all caving for? I mean, they scared to come on here today, though, considering, but this is what they caved for? Lord have mercy.
She was arrested off duty. Her sister and brother-in-law accused her of pushing and hitting them with a closed fist and using an umbrella to repeatedly.
Angry white bitches, the angry white woman, ain't that?
But they call black women angry. They're not angry. We're angry. Okay.
Look at this angry white girl here.
Strike a vehicle. She pled guilty to disorderly conduct.
She hit a car?
Pled guilty to disorderly conduct. To repeatedly strike a vehicle. She pled guilty to disorderly conduct, a misdemeanor, and was ordered to attend an anger management assessment. 2 years later, she admitted she did not have control of her emotions here.
I hate it.
Valentino told internal investigations, "This is a hard job, and I was getting to a point where I was really being affected by it. I've been on for 14 years.
So being a patty roller for 14 years make you be like, oh, I hate N-words. I hate the way that they are. And the other dude, you heard him talking about we need a civil war, send them back 4 or 5 generations.
So she displayed this disgusting behavior. But guess what? They still allowed her to continue working for another 14 years so she can continue hating black people. This is why they need to be defunded. And we need to patrol our own neighborhoods. They should not even be allowed to come into our neighborhoods. With that, stay in the white folk neighborhood and go ahead and cuss them out because a boy raised his finger at you. You are that charged, and you hate black folk that much that even if a black child did raise his finger, it didn't take much for her to go there, did it? That's mental illness on her part.
A black child at a school.
Exactly. Yeah, right. Whatever.
And now, okay, so this one, that was from the summertime. This was from about a month ago. Now, the Buffalo police captain. Now, if you remember what happened in Buffalo not too long ago, right, where it was a massacre. This is the Buffalo police captain suspended for following allegations, right?
This comes just days after a civil lawsuit was filed against her, claiming she repeatedly made racist comments in front of black police officers and police higher up.
What do you mean she in front of black police officers and higher ups?
Police officers and police higher ups failed to address the problem. News 4's Jeff Raval is here with new information. Jeff.
And Jordan, a Buffalo police spokesperson says that Buffalo Police Captain Amber Beyer has been suspended without pay. That lawsuit was filed 11 days after that civil lawsuit was filed against Buffalo 2 years ago. Captain Amber Beyer, see her pictured here, she was named to oversee the department's behavioral health team. In May of this year, the lawsuit claims that Beyer went on a 20-minute rant.
Now listen to this 20-minute rant that she went on. I'm interested to hear what you got to say about what she was saying, Cassandra.
Saying that black men cheat on their wives more than white men, and that all the black police officers she knows are unfaithful, and that if she saw a black man in her neighborhood, she would be suspicious.
What do you think about that, Cassandra?
Lord have mercy. This woman. Whew. She must be gay. So she's gay. My thing is, you see, this is what happens when they come on and they talk about black people. They really mean themselves. They always see us in the light that they see themselves. Everything that they say about us is usually something that they're doing or they've done or they've seen in their family. So they see us through that same eyesight. You know what I'm saying? That same lens. So no, she's got to go back and she's got to fix that. That's her stuff, not ours. That's her stuff, but she needs to lose her job.
Now, she said this in front of a room full of black police officers. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. So therefore, you need to look. But why did she feel so comfortable to say that in front of black men? That's what I need to understand. So that means that those black men didn't hold her accountable. She's done it before. This is not the first time. They've made her feel so comfortable and she's so safe with them that she can say literally anything in front of them brothers and they say absolutely nothing back because of that white privilege, that access. Okay?
Yeah, I mean, but since we seen them in that cave that time, you know, since we seen that Neanderthal standing there, we couldn't help it. But okay.
Somebody said Epstein Island and Bill Clinton and Trump and some other, okay? And when the prince caught on the island with them kids, okay, I'm just saying, but you talking about black men. Didn't I just tell you that she see her men the way she see black men? She's looking out of those tainted eyeballs of hers. Okay.
Yeah, Weinstein, all that.
Exactly. Go ahead. I digress.
Brought by two black Buffalo police officers and a black clinician. They claim their civil rights were violated and that they were discriminated against.
They complained, said this needs to change. And not only did it continue, the bad behavior of this captain accelerated.
The lawsuit says that Captain Beyer contributed to a hostile work environment. It goes on to say that Beyer's alleged behavior was brought up to internal affairs and reported there. The attorney for the plaintiff says that the two officers are on leave and that the clinician resigned from her.
Now the black dudes that filed the lawsuit is on leave, not the white bitch.
Not her. See this. Remember the one lady? This was back in the day. Maybe about 10 years ago. She was fired because her partner was put somebody in a chokehold or something. And she got fired and she made the complaint, but she got fired. It took her literally, 15 years to get her pension back, get her job and all this stuff because they fired her. But she was the one that filed the claim. And this is what I see happening across police departments across the board. When you complain and you're not with their program of abusing Black people, or if you're going to open your mouth, then they'll suspend and fire you. So why are we not doing anything about that, FBI, the Internal Revenue, Internal Affairs? Why are they handling that?
Yeah, facts. So, and I always talk about this white chick, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't like this white bitch, you know, Betty Shelby. And the NRA hired her to teach firearm safety after she shot and killed that dude.
Former Tulsa police officer acquitted in the shooting death of an unarmed man is now expected to teach a National Rifle Association course next month. Former officer Betty Shelby shot Terrence Crutcher more than 2 years ago. She eventually resigned from her position and is now a Rogers County deputy. Shelby is expected to teach basic firearm safety with different types of handguns.
You see, they hired her to teach stuff, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. They promoted her. That was a promotion for her. Thank you for doing it. Thank you for your service. So now we're going to promote you because you shot one of them N-words. Okay. And didn't know nothing. Nothing happened to her. The boy, I remember this one. The man had his hands up walking toward her and she shot him for no reason. No reason whatsoever. But
and Tulsa, and that's the thing. Like they hired her to teach other people how to do this and how to deal with police shootings, like, you know, and I got a real problem with that white bitch, you know.
Exactly. She's gonna pass on her traits to them because, you know, nothing changed. You know, she's still the same way because she got away with it.
You know. And all right, so before I'm gonna close out with this last thing. Nobody wanted to come on here except for Considera, and I appreciate you, Considera. But I want to talk about, and I'm glad you came on here because this is about Black women. This last part, you know what I'm saying? Because the Casual Killing Act also said molestation cannot be considered, you know, malicious. Like, can you imagine that? Like, molesting children and women is not malicious, and real rape cultures is what happened to Black women. You know what I'm saying? And Black women, even when they try to do stuff, you know, and in this case, I'm not sure if she's mixed or a Black woman, you know what I'm saying? She looks super mixed if you ask me, you know. But Charlottesville, because I was talking about Virginia a lot, first Black woman police chief fired over racism and bad cops. So this is what she allegedly got fired for. Now, I'm not going to say that she is a Black woman. She may have been biracial, but, you know. But anyway, this is the story, though.
This story comes from The Root, and it's by Alexandra Jane. Charlottesville's first Black woman police chief has been fired as officers refuse to comply. This woman faced racism and even threats, and she felt the need to leave the police station with her firearm drawn, not because of the criminals, the so-called criminals, but because of her own co-workers.
Now, the police chief, the Black woman police chief, had to pull the gun on her own people in Charlottesville here.
I'm being serious right now. And so we find out that Rachelle Brackety was the first Black woman to be the chief of police in Charlottesville. And after a midsummer meeting in June of 2021, she was seen unholstering her firearm for her own protection. And it wasn't, again, against the criminals, but against her co-workers, because she was trying to make changes such as get rid of drug units that were targeting low-level offenders, body cameras, I mean, the whole 9 yards. She was trying to change things from the inside. And I'm going to show you what happens to people who try to change things from the inside. It's not possible. Because shortly after she was sworn in, she had a police commander walk up to her and say, quote, "I voted Republican and I don't drink any effing pumpkin lattes."
You know, who was that? Alexis was up there talking to her, talking about I voted Republican.
Exactly.
Ain't that so this is the thing here, you know, and I always try to talk to you. Like, you can be the spook that learns by the door, but bring it back to your community to build it. But when you try to infiltrate or get into something, it's like when you take the root out of something. If I take the root out of a tree, the tree is going to die. And we see what the root of America, of what their society is based off of, is off of our destruction. So you can't necessarily take the root out and keep the tree alive. You know what I'm saying? you may have to overhaul the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to like changing the culture from in, the culture is not designed to be changed. The culture, our culture is supposed to be designed to compete against it and to ultimately destroy it and beat it. You know what I'm saying? But we have to have faith in our own culture. You know what I'm saying?
End quote. You know, just the greatest thing to say if you want to make a warm and inviting work environment. Yeah. We all know it was a hostile work environment from the jump. And this woman was receiving threats from her own co-workers. Like, for example, there was a text message that read that we should take out the command staff. And so Brackety went to the other members of the command staff and they just blew it off. They said, hey, don't worry about it. Are you
now? You see how they are so quick to say, take out this, take out that. You know what I'm saying? They're enemies. You know what I'm saying? And there are other ones. Oh, don't worry about it. You'll be all right. You know, don't trip. You know. And I don't know why she thought she could go to the other ones like they aren't. Well, the good ones. I don't know. I don't know which ones are the good ones. So this is what I'm confused about. But all right, so.
You serious? She's a black woman. Of course she's going to worry about that. If you are a black woman in America, reasons why she was walking around with her weapon unholstered. I would too at that point. And we also find out that she knew of an officer who was training a new recruit on how to hide misconduct. And she had an issue with that. And for some reason, the command staff, the others had no issue with it. And mind you, Brackety was hired as a result of what happened in Charlottesville in 2017. And so her hiring.
All right, I'm gonna stop it right there because they definitely getting replaced. You know what I'm saying? And they have lower IQs than the Jews who are replacing them. So if they want to bank on the IQ thing, they should get replaced. But you see this sister who was trying to do what she was trying to do, and she got fired over it. And she had to pull the gun out on her own workers. They worked for her, the black woman. Yes, they worked for her, and she had to pull the gun out on them. You know what I'm saying? You want to say something about before I show the? There's one more thing. You want to say something about this though?
Just they do this all the time. You had a black judge, same thing with her in Baltimore. You had Baltimore DAs that were trying to do it different, and they were being brought up on charges. All the black DAs. I think another one was a couple of them. They were friends, but they always use their laws against us when we doing the right thing. Go ahead.
No, you're right, because I did one. The video I got the most views on. This is when my channel first started getting blackballed. I talked about Aramis Ayala, and they try to be like she is Hispanic, but she says I'm a black woman. But they attack her because she was trying to make sure that there's the death penalty because it affects black people. Black people is the only one in Florida getting the death penalty, and they came at her, and then they was pulling her over, harassing her, all kind of stuff. And they actually that's the first thing they blackballed my channel. I talked about Judge Olu Stevens. He made sure that it wasn't a black defendant, didn't have an all-white jury, and they made him apologize. You know what I'm saying? And Marilyn, I think her name Marilyn.
Is it Mosby? Is that the one?
Yeah, Marilyn Mosby. Yes,
her and her husband brought up on charges.
Yeah,
but this is what they do. If you are, but you have to understand when they see this, why is it not being taken care of? Why is it? How do we? And I'm confused about this. How do we fix that? How do we deal with that? What do we do about that? You see that we see it, they see it. But they still want to patrol and do it the old way. Even when somebody new tries to come in and kind of tweak it and twerk it, they still, you go to jail or you're fired or you got to pull your weapon out because your life threatened. But they allowed to do this in America because it's tyranny. This country is full of this tyranny.
But they show you how to deal with it though. You see they going on. They are strapping up. They saying. Take them out. They're saying we need to set them back 4-5 generations. They saying I hate them and I got to do this and do that. But we the only ones that say, oh, well, I can't believe God told me this,
Exactly. We still the one that said, I don't believe this is happening in 2022. What world are you living in? Wake up. What is going on here? This makes no sense that we still walking around with no weapons, no nothing. Really?
Yeah.
How many on here got their little leaf blowers? Probably 2, being Bakari. I'm just saying, we gotta do better. You had a 20-year-old down here in North Carolina just went missing. He was at the mall, just went missing, 20 years old. Where the baby at? 20. If he had a friend with him, or maybe possibly something else with him, you think he'd be missing today? Go ahead, I digress.
All right, so yeah, let me go to the last thing because I want you to get your opinion on this one. How Kansas City police ignore warnings that killer targeted Black women. You know what I'm saying? Check this out. And look, this is something that you've been talking about. And as a dude, I'm a regular person like everybody else. So I'm like, I can't really say nothing either because like what you say, consider it falls on me too. You know what I'm saying? Like, what can I do? You know, like, what am I supposed to do? I can only take it personal too. But at the same time, like, I'm not even going to go down that lane. But check this out, though.
To our listeners and viewers, we begin today's show with a story that includes graphic details of sexual violence. On October 7th, a 22-year-old Black woman in Excelsior Springs, Missouri, escaped from a white man who she says held her captive in his basement for nearly a month, whipping, torturing, and raping her repeatedly. The woman fled and knocked on a neighbor's door for help after the man left the house to take his son to school.
About 7:30 a.m.,
Abductor.
He killed her 2 friends that she was with.
The woman who escaped said other Black women were killed by her abductor. She's not spoken publicly. She's not been named, but she helped break open a story that the Kansas City police had vehemently denied as community members raised alarm that Black women and girls were being disappeared in September, possibly by a serial killer. Police responded.
I always said how she mean was being disappeared. I never heard that. It just caught my ear. She was like they were being kidnapped. You mean?
Exactly, killed and kidnapped, disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I remember this story. And the preacher came on and he was telling about it really late one night, you know, in the news or whatever. And the police said, no, nothing to see here. And then the next night the girl got free, or the next day the girl got free. But my thing is, it was up to Black people. And this is what I'm telling you. We have to establish our own. If we don't, stuff like this will continue happening. They don't care about us. What about the girl that was locked in her car for 18 hours in New York? You mean not one police officer could get to her? Really? Come on, you guys. See, but this is what we allow. We continue allowing this stuff. We see the injustice. We see that they're racist. We see it, but do nothing. That's why Ram in the Bush is being created. We have investigators. We have the security team. Take the security team and we train them to do what we need them to do, and we can use them. That's what NFAC was for, to patrol our own neighborhoods. But Black folk got on his case. Oh, he ain't doing it right. He ain't doing it. He ain't doing that. And they set they scared behinds down, didn't they? When he got arrested, they sat down and they shut up. Ain't nobody trying nothing since because they scared.
Yeah.
But that's what the NFPC was for us to patrol our own neighborhoods.
Yeah, and that's the important thing. Like, and you have protection when there was a time when Black men protected our own neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying? When we had our own neighborhoods, instead of just hoods, as Bakari would say. Black men made sure that the ones who, not to say Black people never committed crimes or did bad, but they checked the young generation and say, you got to take that somewhere else. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And what's wrong with us even hiring our men? Because they're not hiring them. I was a recruiter. They're not hiring our Black men. Okay, let us hire them. Run for office, run as mayor. We hire our Black men to go into schools and we give them jobs to patrol our own neighborhoods. We don't need them to do anything for us. And until we understand that and change our own situation, nothing will happen. You remember the defendants? I think they're the defenders back in 1940. They called themselves the defenders. Black men had rifles and they was doing the same thing, patrolling their own neighborhoods. Did you remember that? I think that's what they were called back in 1920, 1940. They were called the defenders. Why not bring that back? We have to do something different.
Yep, and it's been like that every generation. Like, do you not see how quickly they were able? Because slavery was worse than what we are. You know what I'm saying today. So that's why I got faith. Like, we was down worse during slavery than we are today. You know what I'm saying? And they rose up way higher than we are today. So that means we have the potential to raise higher than they did in the 20s today. You know, all it takes is like the difference is we suffer from the illusion of inclusion, which may be for the first time since the last 400, 600 years, you know what I'm saying, where we think that we've always tried to welcome them, but we've fallen for this illusion of inclusion, like they have actually accepted us, you know what I'm saying? And if you don't have stuff to protect your own communities, that's why, like brothers like Bakari, when we was talking about, you got to protect your own communities. Yes, you got to check the young brothers, make sure they don't harm the young kids, the women, other brothers in the community. When there's a mental health issue, you got to have somebody you can call that can deal with it. We know we can't call them, but as long as we on that leash, you know what I'm saying, it's hard to break away from that. And listen, consider me and you know the truth, you know what I'm saying? My sister Ross, she knows the truth about what the actual answer is. And there's no way around that answer, even as much as we want it to be that way. We did not start this war, though, you know what I'm saying? And there's really only one answer. And you can do it all kind of ways, but at the end of the day, it's going to come back to that, because we can all leave and go to Africa right now, build a great civilization. In 6 months, somebody's going to try to come in and take it. You know what I'm saying? There's only one way to stop that from happening. And until we actually address that, you know what I'm saying, we're going to still be in the situation. So I'm going to just play a little bit more, consider for those who haven't seen it, and then we're going to close out.
Girls were being disappeared in September, possibly by a serial killer. Police responded by saying the reports were, quote, completely unfounded. Some of the concerns were raised in a now viral video by Bishop Tony Caldwell of Eternal Life Church by the independent publication, The Kansas City Defender.
I am a little upset right now. The reason I'm upset is because we got 4 young ladies that have been murdered within the last week here off of 85th and Prospect. We got a serial killer again. And ain't nobody saying nothing. The media is not covering it. We got 3 young ladies that are missing. Ain't nobody saying a word. What is the problem? Why can't we get some cooperation? Where's our community leaders? Where's our activists? Where's our public officials? Where's our police department? Where is those folks at? In President Gardens. Come on now. We need to start knocking doors. We need to start making sure that this is brought to the light. We cannot.
And y'all right, unity is definitely important, right? But like when one nation does something to one nation, right? Let's just take it in a large scale, right? Because we're not, so we can separate ourselves from it, right? If this country does something to this country, right? And the country knows that they violated something, right? They can say, look, if you do this again, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to be really mad. I'm going to write you a strong letter. So you know what the other country's going to do? They're going to do the same thing again, right? Until that country is like, if you do this again, then this is going to happen. Now, that country may do that thing again. But, if that country does not respond, and likewise, you know what I'm saying, you may lose your language. You may not know who your great-great-grandfather is. You may not know where you come from. You may argue about your language and your identity, what you should call yourselves, because you don't set no ground rules at the end of the day. Because like sometimes like people, psychopaths are psychopaths and they want to do what they have to do. You know what I'm saying? And if it's a bully that come after you, is sometimes, you know what I'm saying, you have to handle a bully way, But I'm gonna stop you right there though. So yeah, consider you wanted to say something though?
Yeah, just one thing and then I'm gonna be done. Misty, thank you. It was called Deacons of Defense. That's what it was called. Thank you for that, Misty. And she also asked about Ram in the Bush. If you want to go up on and find out more about Ram in the Bush, Misty, it's raminthebush.com, and it's just an organization foundation that we help between ages of 18 and 25 get paid on the job training. We have different businesses we've partnered with, and we're teaching our young people how to eat. We're teaching them how to build their own tables. We're trying to teach them how to fish, so that they won't go hungry again. And we're teaching them how to do it, how to have our own. We say that there are things that we need in our community. Ram in the Bush is establishing that, and we'll have our own. All it takes is a year of training, 12 months. And then after the 12 months, you'll be able to open up your own business. And I know all kids, all teenagers aren't, or young adults are not entrepreneurs. But if you are and you want your own business, we will in fact pay for 2 months of rent for you, and you'll have your own business. And we'll use you to train the next set of the group of youngsters. So I hope I answered that question for you. And thank you, Forecast. And great show as usual.
Yeah, absolutely, Cassandra. And hold on 1 second. Let me put your channel and the thing for anybody who wants to be a part of that. And I always push Cassandra thing because you are actually doing something for the children. And I see people that have something to say, but they don't actually do anything. All it takes is to do some kind of work. And Cassandra is doing something to try to help children out there, and to help our economy. It helps in so many different ways, like with the skills, it helps with the economy, it helps with our children. And you can't get somebody to follow you if you don't at least offer them something. So what you're doing is really valuable, and I want to put Cassandra's channel in there. So if y'all got any contact her, is right there, realminthebush.com, and support Cassandra and everything that she's doing. So I wanted to say that, Cassandra.
Thanks again, Forecast. Thanks for having me. And you guys have a great one. I'll can continue listening at the back.
All right. Yeah, I appreciate you for coming on. And, Cassandra, by the way, they didn't want no smoke with us. You know what I'm saying? You see the troll ran away. You know what I'm saying? Once you ignore them, they don't say anything after that,
Oh my goodness, that's Lord. They just nerved me out. Oh, okay.
But I want y'all to see how y'all deal with them, because once they realize they have this arrogance problem, and it satisfies their ego in a sick way, you know what I'm saying, to have you block them because they feel like they got under your skin. But when they realize they're not as important as they think they are, they're nothing, and to help, they be like, you kind, you smart. I say you're dumb, you're evil. You know what I'm saying? You're dumb as hell. Oh, I don't know what the other thing she said was, but that's what they are. So you're the opposite of all those things, you know what I'm saying? So, and you're meaningless and nobody cares about your opinion. So I'm glad they didn't want no smoke, because they're not gonna come on here, but
they definitely would have gotten it.
Yeah, they're scared. That's why they block us though, Cassandra. So yeah, man, I appreciate all of y'all for watching, you know what I'm saying? And it's important that we study it's important for us to build on our education. That's why I like to do these Black Studies courses, because we don't really learn our history, but we also need to learn finance and science and STEM and all of that stuff, you know what I'm saying? So all of that kind of stuff is important. And just because they made me re-upload the video because I put this in there, because it's a part of it. I'm gonna play this as the final going off, but it's important for us to get on our educational thing. But no matter what kind of education we have to know that we all we got at the end of the day. And if we don't work together, and if we don't think our children are the most important thing, and we willing to fight and do anything and everything for our children to put them in a better situation, then we're going to be stuck in the same situation, stuck saying the same thing. So I'm going to let this be the last word just for everything here. You know what I'm saying?
Like this. Come on. Come on now. Clap your hands. Nigga run, nigga flew, nigga tore his shirt in two. Run, run, a patty roller get you. Run, nigga, run, well, you better get away. That's right, like you mean it. Nigga run, run so fast, over his head in a hornet's nest. Run, run, the patty roller get you. Run, nigga, run, well, you better get away. Run, nigga, run, the patty roller get you. Run, nigga, run, well, you better get away. Some folks say a nigga don't steal. I caught 3 in my cornfield. One has a bushel and one has a peck. One has a rope, it was hung around his neck. Run, nigga, run. The paddy roller get you. Run, nigga, run. Well, you better get away. Run, nigga, run. The paddy roller get you. Run, nigga, run. Well, you better get away.
All right, so yo, I want to give a shout out to Misty. Yo, I'm glad that you was here. You know what I'm saying? It's been a minute. I appreciate you for being here, Dwayne. I definitely got to give a shout out to Consider Cheek and Rum in the Bush. Thank you for joining me. Yo, y'all listen to Consider. Y'all subscribe to our channel. I'll put it in the chat. Y'all subscribe to her channel. She is the truth. She go in all the time. I got to give a shout out to my brother, Bobby. Bobby Wright. Yo, my brother is a genius. You know what I'm saying? Definitely a scholar. You know what I'm saying? So much respect to that brother. My brother, Guy. Namur X, my brother Bakari, real black gentleman, you know what I'm saying? Namur X, you know, shouts out to that brother. Shouts out to Mr. Fix It, you know what I'm saying? My brother Bawana Hagaziki, you know what I'm saying? Amani Mangu, you know, Jermaine Thompson, K Shaw, Brandon Baxter, you know what I'm saying? My brother MG2, Erica Howard, you know what I'm saying? Shouts out to all of y'all. And as always, man, we have got to start standing for something, or we gonna keep falling for anything.